So now as part of mapping file, okay, as part of mapping file, so whatever the our Java Pozo class being, Pozo class, we need to map with the database table to give some association directly to save that employee object, okay. For that, what we need to give is first the class attribute, okay. As part of class attribute, we need to give the name of the class, fully qualified name of the class we need to give here, okay. Now it is of employee. Let's say create what is our employee class. Let's create it, okay. Somewhere I created, right? Let's refresh it. Yeah. Employee class, okay. This class we need to give mapping inside employee class. That is that what the package is com.ibc.employee, okay. com.ibc.employee, okay. Let's remove.
So we need to give a package name also, sir.
Yes, compulsory ma. With the package name we need to give that, then only it can understood that, okay. Otherwise it can't. So first name of the attribute is, it is a fully qualified name of the class, and the second table attribute. So inside this we need to give to which table you want to create the database and to which you want to map it, okay. Let's emp employee employee. Let's see, do you have employee table in the database first, okay. Let's select the star from employee. Do you have table? What it is giving? Tabular
No, sir.
view does not exist. That means that table is not there. So I want to create, Hibernate should create this employee table, okay. And if it is already there, map it, don't create it, okay. And apart from inside the table name, inside the table, the we need to create columns also, right? Okay. Employee object contains what is the attributes? Employee id, employee name, salary and designation. Whatever the data I'm setting in employee id, it should go and store inside employee table of some column name, correct or not, right? So id, it is a primary key. For primary, if you want to create in the table primary key, we need to use of id tag, okay. For non-primary key columns, we will use as property, okay. For time being, our employee id is a primary key, okay. Id, name of the id, okay. Name of the id, or else let's say keep it of emp id also fine, okay. Then in this maybe you might have some confusion. Let's remove these two and generate employee id, okay. Now set emp id, okay. Then after that, so emp id, name of the employee class, id is this one, okay. Name of the property, and it should be available in the employee class, okay. And type is int. What is the type? Int type. And column, okay. To which column in the database you want to map this employee id, okay. Let's assume eid, I have given eid. And precision and scale, it is of type integer, right? Based on this it will create a precision and scale. Now let's say in the database we have seen like go to columns. So this is of number, right? This is precision, this is scale, right? And what is the, how it is you are going to assign, or Hibernate should generate the primary key. For time being, I am giving as assigned. That means that we should assign the primary key for the table, okay. That is for id part. This is of primary key column in the database. This is where we will mention that. And the next part is other than, apart from non-primary key columns, the property tag we will use it. What is the name of the property? The second one is employee. What is that? Name, okay. Now go to HBM, okay. Now name of the property is name and type is string, okay. And with in database, how, which column name you want to create, okay. I'm giving emp name is the column name in the database. I want to map with the employee name column. Okay. Now next, and there is no compulsory like we need to give these two must be same the names. We can give any name here. Okay, even emp also fine. Let's say maybe people are thinking like compulsory we need to give the name employee and here the table name should be same. It is not like that. We can give any table name. Okay, with that only it will create it. And the next part is employee name, and the length is I'm giving as the name is 20. Okay, name of the column database length is 20. I am creating. Normally in case of varchar we'll give, right, we can give off anything, but here if you are giving 20 means with that 20 it will create in the database. Let's say 30, and whether it is nullable or not, it is not null equal to true. Okay, if you want you can keep it, otherwise you can delete also, it doesn't matter. Okay. Now next, same way for salary column, salary is of type float, and the name of the column in the database is salary, and it is nullable means not nullable. Okay, and the third one is designation, type is string, and the name of the table name of the column in the table is DESI, and the length is 20 and not nullable is true. Okay, sorry, this is of just a hibernate mapping file, guys. We can create for n number of classes, for n number of poso class and n number of table configuration we can do within hibernate mapping tag. We can create of one more also for another table with another employee poso class. Okay, but right now we have only one. Okay, now the next, now next is what we need to create. We need to create where exactly the configuration database we need to create, right, connection. So that configuration we will do by using of hibernate configuration file. Okay, hibernate configuration file. Inside this, this is of hibernate configuration file. So the main tag is hibernate configuration. Inside this session factory is a one tag. Okay, in java it is a heavyweight object, we should create only once. Okay, that will see at the time of client class. And the next one is properties. These properties should be same, guys. Okay, hibernate connection driver class, hibernate connection url, username, password. Okay, these are database properties. These are database properties. Okay, database properties. And this is we will call it as a dialect. Okay, dialect, that I will tell you. Based on this dialect only, I'm telling it is a Oracle dialect. Okay, Hibernate will create the tables based on the syntax of Oracle only in the database table in the Oracle database. Okay, if you are giving MySQL, then according to the MySQL database syntax, it will create the tables in the database. Okay, now next part. Next one, next tag is HBM2 DDL.auto. This is fixed, guys, the names. And the value is I'm giving as update. If you are keeping here as create means, then if the table is not there in the database, if you are keeping create means always it will create the tables. Okay, if we are keeping as update, then in the database if the table is already available, then it won't create. If the table is not there, then it will create it. Okay, is it clear, guys? This is the,
Yes, sir.
this is where exactly the hibernate will create or update the tables, this tag. Okay, if hbm to ddl dot auto is update means in the database if it is not there the table, okay, then it will create it. Okay, if we are not giving this tag, then it can't create it. Okay, and the next one is show underscore SQL. Whatever the Hibernate is generated that queries, it is going to create the table, right? Whether you want to see that queries or not. If you want to see the queries, then show underscore SQL. Then those queries will be displayed in the console, which Hibernate is creating the table, create query, SQL whatever the insert query, all those things it will display in the console. Okay, and format underscore SQL means you want to show those SQLs in some format. Okay, some SQL format. Then for that this tag is required. After that, what we need to give is like so whatever the mapping file, where we are giving mapping file. So our table with employee class with the table, we have given some mapping file, right or not? Employee dot hbm.xml, correct or not? I want to load, I want to give that directly. Hibernate will load only the Hibernate configuration file, but not Hibernate mapping file. So Hibernate mapping files we need to give inside Hibernate configuration file. Okay, for that what I'm doing, mapping tag we need to use. Mapping tag, this is for mapping between the Java class with employee some table in the database. The subtag is resource, and here we need to give off with, if it is a subfolder it is available, then create subfolders. Okay, now let's create folder com. Let's create one more like IBC, just assume. And inside that, if I'm keeping inside this HBM file, okay, then we need to give off that path. Through path only we need, then only the Hibernate will load from this HBM file through from in this path. Okay, if it is not giving the path correctly, then it can't load that HBM file and it can't create that table in the database. Okay, is it clear guys, this one? This is main important. This is for any application this is common guys. If not understood any of the tag, let me know. Is it clear guys, this part? If any single tag
Yes,
is
sir.
not understood also just let me know, I'll repeat it again.
Update, sir.
Yes, this update
Where
is
it have update, sir?
yes, this one, right? You mean?
That one only. That code also.
Yeah,
Where it is update, sir.
it will, yeah, this tag what it will do means Hibernate will check in the database. Okay, what you are doing, this tag will say inside this HBM file, what you are doing, you are creating some, for this employee Java class object, you want to store the whatever the data I'm setting inside this object in the database in this table, you need to store. That's what I'm telling inside mapping file, right? If this table is not there, if employee table is not there in the database, then create the table that we are telling to Hibernate by using this tag. Okay, hbm to ddl.auto, hbm to Hibernate mapping file to database tables. Okay, how you want to do that? Update means if the table is not there in the database, which table? Employee table. Okay, if not there in the database, then create the table. If it is already there, then don't do that. That is the meaning of this tag. Not clear? You are
Okay,
asking the
sir.
question.
Okay, sir. Got it.
Update means if already there means it won't create guys. Okay, if not there only it will create. Let's say if I'm giving create means create, create means, create means it will always create the table. If it already there also, it will delete that and then it will create it again. That is of all existing data will collapse. Okay, do better, update it. If the table is not there, Hibernate will create it. Okay, that is the best option. Now let's go on to
Sir,
clear, right?
these all codes are same only, sir, for any project.
This configuration, right?
Yes, sir. All
Ye-
codes.
yes, this is common. Along with this we will add some more tags. These are common. Okay,
Okay, sir.
yeah, these are common. And this one is for annotation based, we will change the type. For annotation based, we will use of instead of resource, will give tag is class tag, and name of the class will give the pojo class. The annotations we will add inside that pojo class, that we will see in the next example. Okay,
Okay,
now
sir.
now Our Hibernate configuration file is completed and HBM file is also completed. Now go to our client file, execute that all these things. Directly, how to create, how to save the employee object means first we need to load. First we need to load Hibernate configuration file. What Hibernate configuration file? First we need to load. How to load means we have a class called configuration. Configuration configuration, let's it is not there. Now let's add that properties. Now let's go and check here. Inside this POM file we need to add dependencies. We need to add dependencies. What is dependency? For working with Hibernate, we need of Hibernate jars. For let's say in JDBC to interact with Oracle, we need of Oracle jar, right? Correct or not? Now
Yes, sir.
we need to tell to our application. So we are using of Hibernate. We need of Hibernate jars. We need of Hibernate jars that we can download from. That we need to download from Google Hibernate data 5.6 download, guys. Okay, 5.6. Don't go for it is not okay. Go for 5.6.0 version. Try to download this one. Okay, click on that. It will download. Go to downloads. It will download this Hibernate release data 5.6.0 final release. Okay, now extract it. I got off this file, this folder. Inside this we have lot of things. Inside, go to lib, go to required, go to required. Just select all these jar files. How to add those things means no need to add all those things. Okay, now as part of Maven configuration, we will get all those things. No need to do that. How to means now go to pom.xml file. If you are adding this part, this dependency, if we are adding the dependency of only this part, okay, then application Maven will download this dependency from Artifactory. Maven will download from internet, guys, from online it will download it. Okay, and apart from this we are connecting with Oracle, right? We need to tell to our application Hibernate get Oracle also. Oracle is not part of Maven repository. We need to configure this separately. What I did is I have configured this from my local. Okay, this is from, it will download from Artifactory, but this will download from where it is to download. System path I have given D folder lib. Okay, now go and load of this library from this path. I have given OJDBC8 Oracle jar. Okay, I have added in this path. Okay, and com.oracle and artifact id is OJDBC. Okay, and version is 8. This dependency will load from this folder. Okay, but this case it will download from internet. Is it clear, guys? This two,
Yes.
I'm giving the system path here from where this jar file need to load it. If I'm not giving, then it will give error. Okay. For this case, it is already available in the Maven. It is already available in the Maven Artifactory. Now let's go and see. In this place, from this, the Maven will download it. From this path, it will download it. Okay, from here the Hibernate will Maven will download that jar file. Okay, and the second one is what I have given. Second one I have given as Oracle. Oracle is not part of Maven repository. It is a private one. So that is the reason I have to load that jar file from my system path. That path I have given. then application will load this from my local system. Okay, now after this, the next, go to client file. Now
Sir, this one we can't copy paste, sir.
which one? No copy paste,
Yeah.
guys.
Uh-huh.
You mean the pom.xml file? We can, this code we can copy paste,
That
but
folder, file we can't.
no files, no. In case of Maven, no, don't do that. Okay, in that is in case of normal application. In case of dynamic application we are creating, right, till now. Before, in
Yes.
case of servlets and JSP, that time we can copy paste of that jar file inside our project, that is fine. But in case of here, through pom.xml file only the jar file should load. Okay,
Okay, sir.
now next, employee client. Now see that before this is not there. Did you observe, guys? Hibernate was not there, right? After adding this, now let's say for suppose, okay, let's say where is that palm file? If I deleted this one, just remove and saved it, okay. Now go and check in the here any jar file, any these are jars, right? If I'm adding this one, just if I'm adding again that back and click on save, then observe the Maven dependencies, guys. Observe this folder. Anything will add it. Anything is added, guys.
Yes, sir.
Many jar files is added. From where it is coming? It is from Maven repository. It is adding from the internet and it is storing inside .m2 folder of .m2 folder. Last time I told you where it will store. Go to one second. C drive, users or application. Now inside, if you are installed Maven, this .m2 folder will come. Inside this, all those libraries will be there. Now let's see where is that. Yeah. Now see hibernate core.jar. I didn't added manually, right, the jar, but it is downloaded from internet and it is downloaded to which location? .m2 repository. .m2 repository, and inside repository, and inside that org, inside that org, see inside that org, inside that hibernate, inside that hibernate, go inside hibernate, inside that hibernate core, inside that hibernate core, after that 5.6.0 final, inside that this jar file is there, see executable jar file, it is downloaded from internet and it is added here. Okay, is it clear, guys, this part?
Yes, sir.
Maven. Now, if you are adding any other things, okay, let's say simply if I remove this one, okay, and saved it, below it is deleted, right? My path is referencing from that path. Now, Control Z and save it. See, from where it is loading, guys? This Oracle jar file.
From D drive, lib, sir.
Yes, from D drive lib. That's what I have given that the path here, right? That's the reason it is downloading from. That is from that folder to this project. Okay, it is referring from that path. That is the reason. Okay. Now next, go to configuration file. Next, first step what we need to do is we need to create the configuration object. We need to create configuration object. Okay, just cfg equal to new configuration. New configuration. What happened? Control org dot hibernate dot cfg configuration. Okay, now next, new configuration object is created. Okay, dot configure, dot configure, it will load. If you are not giving any name, by default Hibernate will search for hibernate.cfg.xml file. If you are not, if you are clicking on configure method on, if you are on configuration object, if you call configure method, okay, directly Hibernate will search for hibernate.cfg.xml file. If you are giving the name is different, then we need to give that file name here, hibernate.cfg.xml. Okay, but here in my case, I don't want to change the name of that file. Okay, anyone is joined? Okay, but in my case, I don't want to change the name of the file. Then I don't want to give, by default Hibernate will load hibernate.cfg.xml file. After that, cfg dot cfg dot build session factory, build session factory. What will happen at the time of what will happen at the time of in this line means, so it, in this case, the Hibernate will load the configuration file. In this phase, Hibernate will load, it will read all the database related things, dialect, HBM to DDL, all these properties it will load, and it will load off the Hibernate mapping file also in the first line, guys. In this first line, what Hibernate will do means, it will load that configuration file and it will keep in the memory. It will make it ready. Okay. After that, what exactly happen in case of build session factory means, it will create session factory object. It will verify all the database details, everything, and it will create some connections. It will create some number of connections. It will make it ready, and it will store inside session factory object. Is it clear, guys, these two lines? Guys, line by line is important here. Okay, the first line, what it will do, it will load the first line, it will load the Hibernate configuration file. Okay, if we are by default, Hibernate will search for hibernate.cfg.xml file. Okay, if the name of the file is changed when you are creating, then give that name inside configure method. Okay, after that, it will load all the data whatever it is there. Okay, with the database details, with the mapping files, everything it will load and it will keep in the memory. Okay, it will store somewhere. After that, at the time of calling build session factory method, with the whatever the database credentials as part of the configuration file, with that, it will create some number of connections. Okay, it will create some number of connections and it will keep inside session factory object. Okay, from the session factory object, we can take one session. I'm asking session factory, please give one session to me. Okay, so it will give one session object. Okay, one session object. As part of this, it will give one session object. The next, so after session is given by session factory, after the session is given, what is meant by session means, it is giving connection to the database, the meaning of that, guys, clear or not?
So,
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Now, next, from the session, we need to start the transaction. We need to start begin transaction method. We need to call. We need to call begin transaction. After that, what we are doing? I have created my Pozo class. I have created my Pozo class with some data. Right or not? I created my Pozo class with some data. After that, session dot save save of employee object. Okay, save it. Okay, after session is saved, now we need to close session transaction session and session factory and transaction dot commit. Three things that we need to do. That I will show you 1 second. So simply just we need to add of session dot commit. Okay, just simply go here, session dot get transaction dot commit. Okay, after that we need to close session factory and these things for time being leave it. Okay, is it the first things, guys? Okay, do you have employee object in the database, guys? Guys, see, in
No,
the
sir.
we don't have as part of Hibernate configuration file, okay, and the HBM file, the employee table is there, right? But this table is does not there in the database. Now go and see. We don't have table in the database. Now we are asking if the table is not there in the database, please create it. We are asking to Hibernate. Now let's run it. So .out.println main method started. Okay, now end. Now let's see. I'm running. Just it is a Java application. Just run as a Java application. Now let's see that. Wait and see. See, it is loading up all the things. Correct? URL which it is taking from the Hibernate configuration file, guys. Okay? And it is taking of username and password. See that? Hibernate connection full size is 20. And it's the user of some dialect also it is loaded. All those properties are loaded. Wait, it is still running. No worries. Create table something. 1 second. Transaction is already active. Okay. Now let's go and see the employee table is created or not. Go here, refresh it. Now employee table is created. See that employee table is created. Now data is not set. So let's see the reason. Transaction is already active. So it will take something from dialect. Let's go and session dot close 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 this somewhere. Let's see multiple exceptions something is now this one. Open it. 1 second, guys. Okay, now change the to Java 8. Okay, now close this also. Now let's update it. I have an update. Default is pointing to 1.5. Change it again. Yeah, now try to run it again. Okay, to Run it again. App client, open it.
Just delete that, sir.
Which,
Before that,
okay.
already created, right?
Yeah, let me. Does not matter if it is already there. It won't create it. That's it. Okay. Yeah, it is not there. Now it is deleted. Let's try it. Begin the transaction. Now let's see.
Sir, transaction will be there, right, sir?
Yeah, is there right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we are started transaction, right?
At the time of so we have to give, I think so, sir.
Sorry, please.
At the ending also we should give, sir.
Yes, we should commit the transaction, right? We
Yes,
should
sir.
commit it. Yeah. 1 second. Transaction not committed. Session dot save is done. Let me do same. This is also same. Let's run it. Configure this compensation billing transaction employee. Sources. Yeah, test. Change anything? No. Do take some time. Just let's see. Constraint violated. This is a some table is created already before. Next, what's happened here?
Uh,
Let's see.
So can you check the salary, sir?
Sorry. Let's see. Okay.
Nothing, sir.
Yeah, let's still it is running. Let's see. Um, constraint unique key constraint.
it's already created, so that's why it's
1
showing
second. Yeah, let me check. Yeah, yes. I think the
that
name of
app.
the thing, not this one. I'm running up this one. This also same as existing one. Both are same. Okay. should be deleted. The record is already primary key is there, right? That is the reason it is I have given as assigned, right? At the time of running also I have given double one double one. If it is already there, then it will give that error. Okay, let's run it. This time should not give that. Let's wait and see. Yeah, now see that. So first part is the table is not there. The table name is EMPHI. EMPHI table is not there in the database. So first what it is doing, it is creating of that table. Okay, this is the create table EMPHI. One second. Let's see. Also, EMP this class with this name in the employee mapping class. This is the employee class with emp high. Okay, with this there is no table in the database. So what a hibernate is done, it is created of one table. Now let's refresh it. Emp hi. Okay, it is created one table, and let's read the data. See, one record is inserted. If I am trying to do again, if I am trying to insert again same, then what I am doing, it's the primary key, it will not allow duplicate value, right? So that is the reason it is throwing exception. Okay, if I am giving double two, okay, and Rajesh and some 5,000 and some lead. Now let's see, it will insert one more record. This time it won't create the table, it will insert only, it will generate only the insert query because table is already exist. Now let's see. See, is it created, guys? Only insert statement is created, right or not?
Yes, sir.
So let's say for suppose in the configuration, okay, instead of update, if I am keeping as create, okay, every time, let's already the data is there in the table, right? How many records is there? We have two records. Okay, if I am inserting one more record, if I am inserting one more record, okay, now John with some 6,000 and director, just assume. Okay, now this time what it will do means it will delete the existing data and table also, and it will insert by creating new table one record. Now let's see this. First it will delete that existing one, and it is created that new table, and it is inserted of only one record. Now let's see, the existing data will go and it will insert of whatever the data that we are inserted. Is it clear, guys? What is the difference between create and update here?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that should be careful. Don't go with create, go for update. Okay, if not there only it will create it. Okay, now this is for creating the data inside a database with XML. Now my requirement is I don't want to go for XML. Okay, I want to go for annotation based. I want to go for I don't want to create separate XML file for giving mapping between database table and our POSO class. What I want to do is I want to go through annotation wise. Then let's see that. Now this is I've created one POSO class with annotations annotations in employee class. Directly we created a class, but inside this we have some annotations. At entity will represent it is a database entity, the meaning of that. Okay, what is the name of the table in the database? What is the name of the table in the database? This will at table annotation will represent that. And what is the table name equal to account. Okay, if we are not giving this line, then Hibernate will create table by default with class name. Okay, guys, read it. Okay, now the next part is what I am doing as part of XML configuration. What we did, this is class and this is table. That is the configuration in first two lines. Okay, got it, guys? The
Yes, sir.
next part is primary key. This is what we have written, right? This is what we have written. Now what I am doing is I am created at id. Here we have id is there. Here annotated with at id. How you want to set the value for this primary key? Okay, I don't want to set any data from my side. Hibernate do from your side. Create one sequence and assign one value for this account id. For that generated value, what is the strategy it should follow for assigning account id? I am telling, generate some id and assign it to this field. That's what the meaning of this annotation. Okay, the next columns are at the column. What is the name of the column in the database? Account name. Okay. What is the length of that? 30. Whether is it nullable or not? False. Okay. Like that, whether it is unique or not. True. Like that, we can give all these values. Through based on this, it will create that. Hibernate will create the table. After that, next column name. If you want, you can give off at CO value at column of name equal to address add. Okay, just I have given here my property is address, but I have given the column name in the database is add. Okay, now next balance. Okay, at co column, name of the column is account balance, ACCT balance. I'm giving account balance column name. Okay, now let's see. So for this, let me say that I don't want to create any HBM file, guys. That configuration I have done in the class itself. Okay, through annotations. Now let's see that. Now let's create one more record here and Peter some 10,000 director also. Along with that, I'm creating of one more account. Okay, along with employee, I'm creating of account also. But in this case, account is does not exist in the database, right or not? Right, guys? But I didn't set the account ID value also. Is it right? Did I set the account ID value here?
No.
So that means that Hibernate will generate some sequence. From that sequence, it will get some one value and it will assign to this table at the time of inserting record. Now let's see. Now let's run it. No, guys, we have one more configuration missed. What is that means? So what is that means? Here we need to tell to Hibernate, right? So we are created mapping inside the class, but we need to tell to Hibernate create this table in the database if not exist. Okay, so that's what we are configuration. We need to enable this part. We need to add it mapping class where we are added all those annotations inside account itself, right? POSO class. That POSO class fully qualified name we need to give it here. Okay, and delete it. Now let's run it. Now let's see, do we have ACCT table in the database? Oh, already it is there. So let me drop it. So let's see, still it is doing, right? Let's wait. It will create one Hibernate sequence. Also from the sequence it will get that value and it will insert into the account table. Okay. One second. Maybe it is of unique column specification user table, invalid user table column. One second. Account name. What is add address? Right. Now AD or ESS address. Somewhere something is mismatched. Okay. Now let's see. I think before one it is considering. I think we don't have any table name. I think now let's see. Table R does not exist. Now let's see. It should create account table with sequence and then it should insert the data into employee table as well. All things should done. See now first what I am doing. First it is done. It is created. What is done, guys?
Created, sir.
Now
Created.
it is account table is created because account table does not exist, right? So after that account ID, account name, account balance, all these things created as per annotations which we have given in account table. Correct or not? This is account table. Okay. Account ID is main one column, right? Let's, where is that? Select star from this account ID column. Next second column is, even here account name is there, here also given as account name, and length nullable is called false, all those things also. Let's see. Okay, refresh it. See, nullable account ID is nullable means no, even account name is also nullable means no, right or not? That's what. And length is also given 30. Okay, and go to constraints also. See, one account name is unique key constraint, right? I given as unique key, that is the reason one constraint is also added here. Okay, and the length what I have given here as 30. Okay, that is the reason it is 30 is given, and the nullable equal to false. It is giving, that is nullable equal to false, that is the reason it is saying nullable equal to no. For the rest of the two things I have given nullable is equal to empty, right? So that is the reason for them it is giving as nullable equal to yes. And the string type is default is the length 255 characters. 255 by 255 characters it will assign by default. Okay, if you are not assigning. And now let's see, the data is this, what, 6 Ganesh Pune and 5009. Let's see, Ganesh 5009 Pune, right? 5000, these are the one. So apart from table creation, okay, it is created one sequence also. Okay, it is creating one sequence also. This is the sequence. So it will generate. Now let's see. Okay, what it will give. It will, from this it will generate that primary key. Now what is there? 7 is coming. If I am running again, it will give 8. If I am running again, it will give 9. whenever it is inserting, it will run that, and then let's say for suppose let's comment this part and run again a case with some 10,000. Okay, and HYD. Now what is the value it should give? Already 9 is done. Now it's this time it should give the primary key as 10. Now let's see. It will insert that query. Now let's go on. Now let's see. From this, it is generated one number which is the primary key, and that value is inserted in the insert query. Now let's see. It is giving which number, guys? Account ID? Clear, right? If we are not creating any sequence, Hibernate will create that sequence and then it will generate that value from that. Guys, are able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Right? Now, if I am running this query now, what value it should give? Already 10 is done. It will give
11.
next value is 11. See, if I am running again 12, if I am running again 13, like that, it will give sequence value whenever it is executing that statement here without giving primary key. Means Hibernate internally will create it. Did I create a sequence? No, right? Did I created? Only table I have created.
Yes.
Means through Pozo class we have created table, but internally sequence is created by Hibernate only. If you want, you can see that. Where is that sequence? See here. Now let's expand it. See Hibernate sequence. From this it is created. The min value is starting from 1 and max value is this one. And incremented by 1. Every time it will increment one value. Clear, guys, this one? It is for basic configuration for Hibernate. Okay. Now let's go on to document. Okay. That's what I have given everything in the document also. So for Hibernate configuration file, the clarity I have given here. Okay. Now let's see. The class element used to specify the mapping between bean and table, right or not? Have given one class element inside HBM file. What is the use of means? It is used to specify the mapping between table and with the or Java object. Okay, there can be n number of class elements available in the single HBM file. You can write n number of class files for mappings. Okay, and after that inside that class element it contains of name table. What is the name means? It is the value attributes. It's a fully qualified name of bean class. Okay, and the next table attribute is it is the name of the table in the database. Name of the table in the database. Okay, now next property tag. Oh, sorry, id element of class. Id element of class. Okay, id element of class. Id element of class. So within the class, right? So id element of class is used to specify the mapping for primary key column. Okay, and the rest of the things is property element is used for the mapping for the non-primary key columns. Okay, and inside that subtags are name type column. Name means it is the value of the attribute should be to be valid property name of the bean class or Pozo class. Okay, and the type means what is the type of the field, what is the name of the column which you want to specify or map between the bean property and the table column. Okay, That's what I have given all this explanation. Okay. Now next is a Hibernate configuration file. This file contains database details, driver, URL, username, password, and all those details will be available. Okay, and as well as connection details, as well as HBM files also we need to include Hibernate configuration file. That's what the database details are added, dialect is added, and some other properties, and along with that mapping file is also added. And this is the creating of that client class, all those things. And the next, object states. Object states. So object will be in three states in Hibernate. One is transient state. Whenever we are creating object, whenever we are creating object by using new operator, then the object will be in the transient state. It is not associated with any session. Okay, then that is the first state of the object. Next, whenever we are calling session.save, then object will be associated with some session. Then we'll call the state of the object is persistent. The state of the object is called persistent state. When the object will be persistent state means it is in saved mode. Okay. Next, when the object will be in the persistent state means whenever you are loading the object to, whenever you are saving the data into database, or whenever you are retrieving the data from database, in these two scenarios, the object will be in persistent state. Okay, and the next one is detached state. Detached state means whenever the object is whenever the object is not associated with session, not associated with session, or removing from the session means then we'll call the object is in detached state. Okay, even we can make the object as detached by calling evict method. Okay, guys, is it clear? Object will be in the three states: transient state, persistent state, detached state. Transient means whenever you are creating an object by using new operator, then I can say the object is in transient state. Okay, and the persistent state means whenever we are calling save method or save update or merge. Okay, there are other methods is there, these we will see in the later sessions. For time being, remember save method. Okay, and whenever you are loading data from the database also, that time also the object will be in the persistent state. Okay, and when the object is removed or detached from the Hibernate session, okay, then we'll call that is in detached state. Okay, three states: transient, persistent, detached. Okay, the next example is with annotation. Annotation means just now I told you with account. Okay, with at entity at a table. Let's say for suppose, guys, is it clear, right? The one more
Yeah. Yes,
point.
sir.
So if I'm removing this one, what will happen, guys? If I'm removed this one, what will happen now? Will it
Account table is created. The table is created on the name of class.
on the name of class? Exactly. If you are removing the active table annotation, then now let's go and see in the database. Do we have table with ACCOUNT account? Is not there, right or not? Now let's see whether it will create with that name or not. Sorry. Let's say, wait. Now let's see. See, this time first it is created table with account, the table name with the class name as same. Okay, after that it will create one sequence, and then from the sequence is already there, that is the reason it is not created. Okay, now from the sequence it is created getting one value, and it is inserting the record. Now let's see. Already 15 is there, right? The value we are running multiple times. Now let's see. Refresh it. Account table is created. ACC O UNT account. Right? Now let's see. See, it is 16 Rakesh Hyderabad and the values. Is it clear, guys? Right? The
Yes,
rest
sir.
of the configuration is same, guys. Apart from this mapping class and that pojo class path we need to give in the Hibernate configuration. The rest of things is common. I have given the pojo class dependency as well here. If you don't want not with Maven means then we need to add all those. We need to add all those in the project itself in the class path. This is not with Hibernate configuration Maven. So that is the reason. Go to build path. I have added all the jars inside this. I have added. See, I have created my own user library and then added these things. Okay. Along with that, Oracle jar also I have added. But in case of Maven files, we no need to add in the build path. We need to add in the pom.xml file. Okay, guys, is it okay now?
Yes, sir.
Guys, till now, whatever you done or not done, leave it. At least practice from now onwards. At least I am requesting practice from now onwards.
Okay, sir.
Let it be whatever till now, that is at least if you are reading also fine. From now onwards, if you are not practicing, there is no use of learning Java for you guys. I'm telling. Okay.
Sir, now we are not using JDBC in companies, sir.
Yes, ma. We know most of the times 90% no one is using JDBC. If any old projects is there for the maintenance project, then that projects only the JDBC could be there.
One more thing, sir.
Yeah, question.
If we are writing the everything in Hibernate only, no need to write create tables in SQL, no, sir.
SQL,
Separately.
yes, mostly we will not create it. Okay, but normally what will happen is in the projects there may be some partitions. Okay, triggers, all those things is required sometimes. In that case, what they will do is they will not add this tag. They will not add that configuration tag. Okay, so what we'll do that time we need to DBA will create the tables. Okay, with the table, with the properties, with the primary keys, with the foreign keys, with the indexes, with constraints, with the partitions, with the, all those things, with the triggers, everything he will create and he will make it ready for us.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Any other questions, guys? You can ask me questions. That's if you're not asking questions, that means that whether you are understanding or not, that's up to you.
So dot commit, what is the use?
Sorry,
Dot commit.
not commit. You don't want to commit. You mean
Dot commit. Yeah, yeah.
not
In
commit
this,
means the changes will not.
and not in that one. So, this get transaction is there, right? In that
Where
dot commit is there in a creating table. I
here you mean here
uh,
this
yes,
one?
dot com.
Yes, commit means what it will do. Whatever the changes that we are saved, that will permanently saved in the database. If we are not doing this one, then the changes will be not saved properly in the database. The meaning of that. Now let's say this. Okay, let's run it. What we are doing in this case, we are taking from the session factory one session. Okay, we are opening one session with the database. Okay, one connection, and then through that transaction, through that session, we are saving some data in the database. Okay, after that what we need to do, we need to commit the transaction, then only it will save in the database. Now let's see this time only primary key generated. Okay, but it is not saved. If you want, you can go and run it, check it in the database. See, it is not saved, right or not? So we need to commit the changes, whatever the transactions that we have done on that session. Okay, we need to save, then only it will save in the database.
Okay, sir.
Okay, this is, it is there in the intermediate only, it is there in the database, but fully it is not committed to the database, not permanently saved. If we are done session dot transaction dot commit, or normally what we can do, we can like this also, dx, we will do this also. Okay, anything is fine, both are same, the meaning of that. From this it is returning one transaction object. This transaction, once it is completed through this session, any changes in the database, just transaction dot commit the changes, the meaning of that. If you are not committing the changes, then those changes will not be saved in the database properly. You call the save object, but it is still in, not fully permanently persisted. Okay, it is partially done. If you are doing committing, then only it fully persisted in the database. Clear, guys, or not?
Clear, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what for today's, guys. We will start tomorrow with some more HQL criteria and some inheritance mappings. There are some more caching mechanism, there are many concepts is there. It will take around 1 week, maybe I'm thinking it will take 1 week for Hibernate. Okay, but one thing is common is, in all the whatever the concept that we will discuss, everything is, the configuration file is common. Okay, compulsory configuration is, if you understood, then no need to explain much inside other concept. And through pojo class, mostly we will do only through, sorry, with the pojo class with annotations, with annotations, like where is it, yeah, with annotations, whatever we discussed, the account is there, right? So mostly we will done with annotation based only, the mappings, one to one, one to many, many to one, many, all those things will done through annotations only. Okay, if not clear, the next concept if people not understood, again I'll go advanced level again. So the same thing I cannot explain again, again and again. If any doubt is there, you can ask me. Right, guys, then if nothing is there, then we can wind up the call. And